Okay, welcome back to the Sports Circus. This is the Friday edition. The Saturday edition can be found on NBC Sports, 920 The Game Las Vegas, KCAA, 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM. NBC Sports again, Southern California. Also Tuesday night, in case you miss us, you can listen at 1060 AM at 8 p.m. That would be in the greater Phoenix and Tucson areas. So they say it's Phoenix Tempe, KDUS, but tune in. It's fun. I listened to our show from last week on there. It was kind of fun to listen. You know, they have the NBC ding, 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 chimes and whatnot. But then the commercials, what I like about it is they don't say that they are not responsible for the content of the show. I like that because that means they're on the hook. So if we say something stupid, you guys are on the hook. I like that. That's fun. Okay. All right. So this segment is brought to you by Lenny. Who do you have for us today?
Who do we have for us today? We have Dave's Famous Barbecue. Dave's Famous Barbecue.
Oh,
People,
Famous
if
Dave's.
you need to go somewhere for some lip smacking ribs, definitely when you get out of work and you're in your car and you want to go somewhere that's going to be feasting and never ceasing, you want to go to Famous Dave's Barbecue. Also, if you're doing something at home, Famous Dave's Barbecue can hook you up with all of the rubs and spices to make your barbecue lip smacking right. Dave's Famous Barbecue, 32 locations on the West Coast, one near you.
Famous Dave's has some really good food, and you know what? For that dry rub, let me tell you something. You could use that dry rub for a hell of a lot more than slapping it on a bunch of ribs and chicken and such. So you bring your significant other right next to you, start slathering some of that on there, and boom, you got yourself one hell of a Friday night. Let me tell you.
That's
we have to think of these things because that's what we do. So also, Lenny, you were talking about a bet. You were going to book a bet that the Bulls couldn't get past Boston, not Cleveland, Boston. And I will book that bet with you all day, every day. Like I said, the casinos have it at $375 for 100. And I'll tell you what, since you just made good on your last bet that you lost over at our breakfast a week ago, thank you for that. Much appreciated. And my boobs have grown. Thank you. So, like what I said, we have a couple in the house. They're right here, bro. So, so the good news is I'm going to be eating again, but now you're going to lay odds because the Bulls are still a heavy underdog at, let's face it, at 3, almost 4-1. You're going to have to give me a little bit of something here. So let's just say I get breakfast and lunch versus breakfast. How's that?
Okay, I'll be fine.
And that's
with
only
that.
a 2-1, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm perfectly fine with that. Can we get an amen on that, Alicia? You confirm all this?
I like that, and I just for some more giggles, I think you guys should bring the dry rub and.
Well, I'm not going to bring it for him. What am I doing with him?
Lunch,
Get out of here! I got no use for that with this guy, unless he's cooking something. Other than that, I don't swing that way.
Not at all. You know another thing.
No swinging sirloin here, buddy.
People don't swing another way, guys, too, and that is currently in the NBA, resting your players prior to the playoffs. This definitely started with Popovich, resting the old men like Duncan and Parker, and it was frowned upon then. It was typically just one team. It was the San Antonio Spurs, and people thought of it as just an isolated incident. Now, you got Stephon Curry sitting down. You've got Kyrie and LeBron and Kevin Love sitting down. You got entire teams that are in the playoffs sitting their players down. Now, fine. If they've got an injury, I can understand that. You're resting them for an injury. But not that you're resting them up so that you can do well in the playoffs, because when myself, my kid, my wife, my daughter are going to the ball game and we've spent $70 for a ticket and these guys are taking a seat. I wanted to see Stephon Curry. I wanted to see the Splash Brothers. I want to see King James, and I don't even care if it's Joel Embiid. I want to see the stars play and not sitting.
Okay, so here's what I have to say to that. These guys are resting. Well, guess what? In the fighting world, they get to rest for just a couple of minutes, and man, they are back at it again. Now, we have our resident MMA guru in the house that you guys can't see on screen, but this guy knows exactly what I'm talking about. Why do they get to rest? I don't want to play this game. I'm going to rest. Get your ass back out there and play. You have to do that in fighting. Please, chime in anytime, because I got to tell you, if you're doing it in fighting, you're resting because you're getting your teeth knocked in or whatnot, so be it. That's part of your deal. You're paid multi-millions of dollars not to sit your ass on the bench. Get out there and play. You didn't see guys like David Robinson back when he was with the Spurs. Robinson didn't rest. Olajuwon didn't rest. Jabbar didn't rest. Your great players, Jordan didn't. Jordan played when he had the flu. The guy's got 104 temperature. The guy's out there playing. Johnson never rested. All of those guys. You think Jerry West ever rested? Oscar Robertson? They never rested? No. So, look, in fighting, I get it. Please, chime in. Say something, because I extended a microphone over there. I'm waiting for Scott to say something about this.
The only rest you get in fighting is that 1 minute break in between, at least in MMA, right?
Right.
Unless you have to work for the rest, as in terms of like wrestling someone down to the floor and laying on top of them to try and take a rest, but you're vulnerable
But
to being
that's in the
attacked.
middle of the fight.
Yeah, exactly. You could still get attacked, so you have to do it in a tactical way.
Right, and basketball's not tactical. They're just being a bunch of pussies. They don't want to play. That's it.
I agree that your rest comes during those timeouts, guys. You're getting paid millions of dollars. See, this is the thing. People love the NBA. Oh my gosh, they're all the NBA. You don't hear of WNBA players taking any rest breaks. We get out there and we play. So I'm going to shout out to the women here. And yes, we don't play as many games as the women, but look, we work just as hard. We practice just as hard. I feel like that is the difference between the Akeem Olajuwons, the Charles Barkley, the Larry Birds. They would annihilate these kids today because they're just babies. They flop. You can't touch them anymore when they go through the lane. It's just, and now they're taking rest breaks. It's like, come on, get back to original basketball. Get some cojones about you. I'm sorry.
I had this conversation with Gary Payton a while back, and Gary said the same thing. He said, look, these kids today, they don't even know what defense is. And when Golden State was scoring $120 a game, and Gary had said, look, those guys wouldn't score 90 points a game if they were playing in our era against our defense. You think of the Cavs defense back then with Ron Harper and the balance of the gang. You think of the Bulls defense, the Pistons defense. Those were stifling defenses. And guess what? Nobody was resting. That's a bunch of bullshit. Nobody was resting. You're out there. You're being paid a lot of money. Get out there and play. The fans want to see it. Everybody wants to see you, but remember, you're being paid. You're a pro. Act like it.
They get a boatload of money. It's not just their salary. It's the endorsements. It's the people in the stands that are buying your sneakers, that are buying those jerseys. Curry and LeBron and Durant and who goes on and on. Even Kobe's making a mint now, retired with the number 20 jersey sold overseas in China. The guy's not even lacing up his sneakers. The guy's making a mint. Wouldn't it be great? I mean, if you want to rest, why don't they just have a nap zone? And now coming out of the game, into the nap zone.
He comes out. Yeah, right.
On the big screen, you can have somebody squinting their eyes and mom giving them milk and cookies and sending them to their bed.
Burping them up.
You can't have that. We should embarrass those guys if they're, especially the coaches. And I heard the commissioner of the NBA, David Silver, say that he's looking into this because he said that it's a coaching and a general manager stance that's doing this. Well, doggone it, get some nuts about you and get some character and look at the focus of the fans. Little Petey, little Cindy out there, they're over there with their Coke, their $12 hot dog, their $70 seat, and they don't get to see their favorite player because he's too tired. By the way, Sal,
I hurt my pinky toe. Oh yeah.
I got a hangnail. I can't play today.
I'm sorry, I need to cut you off, but then they say, they play like girls. This is not what girls play like.
No, girls can shoot. I tell you, you want to watch a great basketball game? I'm going to finish up this segment with this. Now, look, I have never played basketball for a living, but I'll tell you what, girls basketball, they can shoot, they can defend, they play a pure game. If you want to see a real basketball game, fundamentally sound, watch the girls' game because those girls know what they're doing. The guys, all they want to do is slam dunk and high-five everybody for it. That's a bunch of crap. I'll tell you what, though, we're going to get into that.
And getting that breaks.
In the last segment, we're going to talk about, exactly, we'll talk about that in the last segment here on the Sports Circus.